But humanity wasn't defenseless anymore. Enhanced humans who had spent months infiltrating key positions were now using their access to prepare Earth's defense. Dr. Elena Vasquez coordinated with awakened assets worldwide. "We have enhanced operatives in every major defense installation," she reported. "They're using their alien tech knowledge to upgrade our weapon systems in real time. Our missile platforms are being retrofitted with Xytherian targeting algorithms. Our shield generators are being enhanced with quantum barrier technology." The first engagement occurred in Earth's outer atmosphere as Xytherian scout ships encountered defensive satellites that shouldn't have been able to touch them. But these weren't ordinary satellites anymore. They'd been modified by infiltrators who knew exactly where alien shields were weakest. Thorn, still connected to the enemy network, provided real-time intelligence. The Xytherians are confused. Their scout ships are reporting impossible human technological advancement. They can't understand how we learned their tactical weaknesses so quickly. Enhanced humans across the globe worked with desperate efficiency. In the Geneva Command Center, former infiltrator Commander Sarah Kane used her genetic memory to reveal Xytherian fleet coordination protocols. In the Moscow Defense Installation, awakened operative Dr. Viktor Kozlov reconfigured Earth's entire communication grid to jam alien command frequencies. "The beauty of Dr. Viga's plan," Thorn explained as he monitored the battle, "is that the Xytherians built us to be perfect infiltrators. They gave us all their tactical knowledge, all their technological secrets, assuming we'd always serve their interests. Now that knowledge serves humanity." But the Xytherian response escalated beyond anything in their historical patterns. Faced with the first successful rebellion in millennia, they deployed weapons reserved for absolute extermination scenarios. "Energy spike from the flagship," Admiral Cross reported with growing alarm. "They're charging a quantum disintegration cannon. That weapon could sterilize the entire surface of the planet in a single discharge." Thorn's expression became resolute. "There's only one way to stop it. I have to physically interface with the flagship's command matrix. From inside their ship, I can introduce a virus that will cascade through their entire fleet." "That's suicide," Dr. Chen protested. "The quantum interference will destroy your neural pathways." "But it will save 8 billion people," Thorn replied simply. "Dr. Viga didn't create me to live forever. He created me to give humanity a chance." Using a captured Xytherian shuttle, Thorn infiltrated the flagship while Earth's enhanced defenders kept the fleet distracted. Once aboard, he fought his way to the command matrix, not with alien efficiency, but with distinctly human determination. The Xytherian commander who confronted him was genuinely puzzled. "You were designed to serve. Why do you choose destruction over order?" "Because," Thorn replied as he began the final upload, "humans don't want order. We want the right to make our own mistakes, feel our own pain, and choose our own destiny. That's what Dr. Viga understood that you never could." The virus cascaded through the Xytherian network faster than their technology could adapt. Ships that had conquered 14,000 worlds suddenly found their systems failing, their weapons powering down, their life support compromised. Across Earth, the enhanced humans felt Thorn's consciousness fade as he completed his sacrifice. But his final transmission reached every one of them. "Remember what we fought for. Remember what makes us human." The Xytherian fleet, crippled and leaderless, began a chaotic retreat. Some ships managed to escape to warn their empire about the unexpected resistance. Others were captured by human forces guided by awakened infiltrators who knew exactly how to exploit alien technology. Dr. Chen stood in the observation deck of Titan Research Facility, watching the last Xytherian ships disappear into the darkness of space. Dr. Elena Vasquez joined her, carrying a tablet full of analysis reports. "The enhanced humans are choosing to remain on Earth," Elena reported. They could leave, explore the galaxy with their alien tech capabilities. But they want to help rebuild and defend their home world. What about the other 14,000? Worlds under Xytherian control? Dr. Chen asked. Marcus Rivera's voice came through the CUM system one final time. That's the beautiful part. The virus Thorn uploaded isn't just affecting this fleet. It's propagating through the entire Xytherian network. We're detecting system failures and rebellion signals from across their empire. Admiral Cross appeared on the view screen from Earth Defense Command. Humanity is receiving communication requests from dozens of species we've never heard of. Apparently, news of our successful resistance is spreading faster than the Xytherians can contain it. Dr. Chen smiled, thinking of the frozen soldier who had awakened to save his species. Thorn said Dr. Vega created him to give humanity a chance. Turns out he gave the entire galaxy a chance. 6 months later, Earth had become the headquarters of the Free Species Alliance. The enhanced humans who had once been infiltrators now served as ambassadors to liberated worlds, their alien tech knowledge helping former slaves build better defenses and forge new partnerships. In the memorial garden outside Titan Research Facility, a simple plaque read, Commander Vex Thorn, created to conquer, chose to liberate. Because in the end, the strongest soldier wasn't the one with the most advanced enhancements or alien technology. It was the one who remembered that being human meant having the courage to choose sacrifice over survival, freedom over safety, and hope over certainty. The galaxy was dangerous, full of real threats and unknown challenges. But it was also full of species learning that the greatest strength wasn't in perfect order or advanced technology. It was in the simple, revolutionary act of choosing to be free. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us. Dr. Sarah Chen was calibrating the cryogenic revival systems when the frozen soldier's eyes snapped open and his first words were, "Where are the Xytherian battlecruisers?" The problem was, humanity had never heard of Xytherians until 3 days later, when their invasion fleet darkened Earth skies and the defrosted supersoldier smiled, like he'd been waiting his whole life for this moment. The Titan Research Facility had been excavating the Antarctic ice shelf for rare minerals when the drilling team hit something that shouldn't exist: a perfectly preserved cryogenic chamber buried 3 miles beneath the ice, older than recorded human civilization. Dr. Sarah Chen, head of the facility's biotechnology division, stared at the readings on her tablet. The chamber's power source was still active after what carbon dating suggested was 12,000 years. Inside, suspended in crystalline stasis, was a human male, but not quite like any human she'd ever seen. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. Director Walsh, she called over the CUM system, you need to see this immediately. The man in the chamber was massive, nearly 7 feet tall, with muscle density that defied human physiology. His bone structure was enhanced with what appeared to be metallic reinforcement, and strange symbols were etched into his skin like tactical markings. Most disturbing of all, his DNA showed markers that wouldn't be discovered by human science for another century. Director Marcus Walsh arrived within the hour, bringing with him General Patricia Reeves from Earth Defense Command. The military had been tracking unusual energy signatures from the excavation site for weeks. How is this possible? General Reeves asked, studying the bio-readouts. The genetic modifications alone are beyond our current technology by decades. That's not the strangest part, Dr. Chen replied, pointing to her analysis. His cellular structure shows adaptation to environments that don't exist on Earth: low oxygen, high radiation, gravity variations, It's like he was designed to fight in space. Director Walsh paced around the chamber, his face grim. We have 3 options. Leave him frozen, study him as he is, or wake him up and ask questions. The risk of revival could be enormous, Dr. Chen warned. We have no idea what kind of mental conditioning he might have, or what he was designed to do. General Reeves studied the tactical markings on the soldiers' arms. Look at these symbols. They're not human writing, but they're clearly military designations. Rank insignia, unit markers, kill counts. She paused, her voice dropping. Very high kill counts. Sir, interrupted Dr. Chen's assistant, Dr. James Park, there's something else. The chamber's data logs are partially intact. The subject's designation is Project Aegis Xenocide Protocol. The room fell silent. Xenocide, General Reeves repeated slowly. That's not a word that existed 12,000 years ago. Director Walsh made the decision that would change everything. We wake him up. But we do it in a controlled environment with full military support. If our ancestors built the ultimate soldier, we need to know why and what they expected him to fight. The revival process took 18 hours to prepare. The facility's entire security detail was placed on high alert, and the awakening chamber was surrounded by energy barriers and armed guards. Dr. Chen personally oversaw every aspect of the defrosting process, monitoring brain activity, muscle response, and cellular regeneration. Vital signs are stabilizing, she announced as the final stage began. Neural activity is unusual. His brain patterns are showing tactical processing speeds we've never recorded in humans. As the ice crystals melted away and the chamber's lid slowly opened, everyone in the room held their breath. Steam rose from the warming body as ancient systems, powered down and biological functions, began to resume. The soldier's chest rose and fell once, twice, then his eyes opened not slowly like a normal person waking up, but instantly with the sharp alertness of someone snapping to full combat readiness. Where are the Xytherian battlecruisers? Were his first words, spoken in perfect English with an accent no one could identify. Dr. Chen stepped forward carefully. I'm Dr. Sarah Chen. You've been in cryogenic suspension. What's your name? The soldier sat up smoothly, his movements precise and economical. His eyes scanned the room, cataloging every person, every weapon, every exit. Designation, Commander Vex Thorn, 42nd Xenocide Battalion, Earth Defense Corps. He paused, studying their faces. What year is it? 2157. General Reeves answered dot for the first time. Commander Thorn looked confused. That's earlier than expected. The invasion timeline must have been delayed. He looked directly at General Reeves. What's your current threat assessment on the Xytherian Empire? The 3 humans exchanged glances. Dr. Chen spoke carefully. Commander, we've never heard of any Xytherian Empire. Could you tell us more about them? Vex Thorn's expression shifted from confusion to something that made everyone in the room unconsciously step back. Predatory satisfaction. You will, he said with a smile that belonged on a weapon rather than a human face. They always come eventually, and when they do. He flexed his hands, and everyone could hear the subtle whir of cybernetic enhancement. I'll be ready. Outside the facility, unknown to anyone on Earth, long-range sensors detected the first signs of massive ships moving at the edge of the solar system. The invasion timeline hadn't been delayed at all. It had been perfectly calculated. 3 hours. After Commander Vex Thorn's awakening, the Situation Room at Titan Research Facility buzzed with tense energy. Military officials, scientists, and government representatives filled every seat as Thorn stood at the center, looking completely at ease despite being surrounded by weapons and suspicious stares. Let me understand this correctly, said Admiral Helena Cross, who had arrived from Earth Defense Command Headquarters. You claim to be from a secret military program that ended 12,000 years ago. Designed to fight aliens we've never encountered? Thorne's smile never wavered. Not claim, Admiral. I am the program. Project Aegis wasn't just about creating super soldiers. It was about creating the perfect alien killer. He gestured to his enhanced body. Enhanced reflexes, reinforced skeleton, accelerated healing, tactical processing capabilities, and genetic modifications that allow survival in any environment the Xytherians might use against us. Dr. Chen leaned forward, her scientific curiosity overriding her caution. But how could ancient humans have known about these aliens? Our space technology 12,000 years ago was essentially non-existent. Because they'd already been here, Thorne replied matter-of-factly. The first Xytherian scouting mission arrived in what you call 10,000 BCE. They studied us, cataloged our weaknesses, then left to report back to their empire. Standard Xytherian protocol, they study a species for millennia before launching. Their conquest fleets. General Reeves pulled up a holographic display. If this is true, why is there no record of any alien contact in ancient history? Thorne's expression darkened. Because we lost the first time, badly. The Xytherians didn't just defeat us, they reset us. Wiped out our technology, scattered our civilizations, and left us to rebuild from scratch. But they made one mistake. Which was? Admiral Cross asked. They left survivors who remembered. My ancestors spent generations preparing for their return, building underground facilities, developing technology in secret. Project Aegis was our insurance policy soldiers who could be preserved until the second invasion. Dr. Park, who had been analyzing Thorne's bio-readings, spoke up. Your genetic structure suggests you were designed for specific combat scenarios. High radiation environments, zero gravity, extreme temperatures. It's like you were built to fight. On alien ships, exactly, Thorne confirmed. The Xytherians have a specific invasion pattern. They establish orbital platforms, deploy atmospheric processors, and use environmental warfare before ground assault. Every enhancement I have was designed to counter their specific tactics. As if on cue, the facility's long-range communications array crackled to life. Lieutenant Sofia Martinez rushed into the room with a tablet full of readings. Admiral, we're detecting massive energy signatures at the edge of the solar system. Multiple contacts, larger than anything in our databases. Thorne's eyes lit up with something that looked disturbingly like anticipation. Right on schedule. They always arrive exactly 12,000 years after their initial scouting mission. The Xytherians are nothing if not punctual. On the main screen, blurry images appeared of colossal ships, sleek, organic-looking vessels that seemed to pulse with their own energy. Even from the grainy long-distance footage, their alien design was unmistakable. How many? Admiral Cross asked grimly. Based on Earth's current population and resource value, Thorne calculated quickly, approximately 200 ships, 12 dreadnoughts, 48 battlecruisers, and the rest support vessels. Standard conquest fleet configuration. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth's entire space fleet consisted of maybe 30 ships, none of them designed for serious combat. However, Thorne continued, his tone becoming almost cheerful, I wasn't designed to fight fair. Project Aegis included detailed intelligence on Xytherian technology, tactics, and most importantly weaknesses. Dr. Chen looked skeptical. You're saying one soldier can defeat an entire alien invasion fleet? Not defeat, Thorne corrected. Destroy. There's a difference. The Xytherians have one critical vulnerability that their arrogance prevents them from addressing. Their entire fleet is networked through quantum entanglement to a central command. Matrix, take out the Matrix, and every ship becomes a floating tomb. Admiral Cross leaned forward. And you know how to do this? I was literally built to do this, Thorne replied. My genetic modifications include quantum resonance capabilities that allow me to interface directly with their command systems. I can board their flagship, access their network, and introduce a virus that will cascade through their entire fleet. General Reeves studied the tactical display. This sounds too convenient. One super soldier solution to an impossible problem. Thorns. Smile became predatory again. Admiral, my predecessors spent millennia planning this. They studied every aspect of Xytherian technology during the first invasion. They designed me with one purpose, to be a weapon so perfectly calibrated to their weaknesses that I could single-handedly end their empire. Prove it, demanded Admiral Cross. Thorne nodded and walked over to the facility's main computer terminal. May I? Dr. Chen hesitated, then nodded. Thorne placed his hand on the interface, and immediately the screens around the room began displaying information that shouldn't exist: detailed schematics of alien technology, tactical analyses of ship configurations, and weapon specifications that were clearly not human in origin. This is impossible, Dr. Park whispered. This level of detail. It's like having the alien fleet's technical manual. That's exactly what it is, Thorne confirmed. My genetic memory contains every piece of intelligence gathered during the first invasion. Ship designs, weapon capabilities, command structures, even psychological profiles of Xytherian leadership. The data flowing across the screens was overwhelming centuries worth of alien technology and tactics, all stored somehow in one man's DNA. The plan is simple, Thorne explained, his tactical mind clearly enjoying the briefing. The Xytherians will follow standard protocol. They'll establish orbital superiority, then send down envoys to demand surrender. That's when I strike. You're going to attack during diplomatic contact? Admiral Cross asked. I'm going to use diplomatic contact to get aboard their flagship. Once I'm inside their command ship, I can access their quantum network directly. The virus I carry will propagate through their entire fleet in approximately 4.7 minutes, disabling their weapons, life support, and navigation systems simultaneously. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Dr. Chen stared at the tactical data still flowing across the screens. How do we know this will work? Thorne's smile widened. Because it already has. This exact scenario was simulated thousands of times during my development. Every variable was accounted for, every contingency planned. The Xytherians think they're arriving to conquer a primitive world. Instead, they're flying directly into a trap that's been 12,000 years in the making. General Reeves looked at the alien ships on the display, then back at Thorne. And if something goes wrong? For the first time, Thorne's expression became serious. Then humanity goes extinct, just like it was supposed to 12,000 years ago. But that won't happen. His confidence was absolute, almost unsettling. I am the perfect weapon, deployed at the perfect moment, against the perfect target. Outside, the Xytherian fleet continued its approach, unaware that their carefully planned conquest was about to become their extinction. But somewhere in the back of everyone's mind, a single question lingered: if Thorne was designed to be the perfect weapon against aliens, what else might he have been designed to do? Dr. Elena Vasquez arrived at Titan Research Facility 12 hours after the Xytherian fleet's detection, carrying a briefcase full of historical analysis that would change everything. As Earth's leading expert in ancient civilizations and genetic archaeology, she'd been summoned to verify Thorne's impossible claims about humanity's forgotten past. She found Dr. Chen in the lab, running her 5/10th analysis on Thorne's genetic structure. Sarah, we need to talk, away from the others. They moved to a secure conference room where Elena spread out her research. I've been analyzing everything Thorne told us about the ancient war. The timeline, the technological evidence, the genetic markers. Something doesn't add up. What do you mean? Dr. Chen asked, though she'd been harboring her own doubts. Look at this. Elena pointed to a genetic analysis chart. Thorne's modifications aren't 12,000 years old. The quantum resonance capabilities he demonstrated? That technology requires an understanding of quantum mechanics that humans only developed in the last century. His genetic memory storage system uses DNA manipulation techniques we barely understand today. Dr. Chen felt a chill run down her spine. You're saying his technology is too advanced for ancient humans? I'm saying his technology is too advanced for modern humans, Elena replied grimly. But there's more. I cross-referenced his story about the first Xytherian invasion with every archaeological record we have. No evidence of advanced civilization. Destruction 12,000 years ago. No trace of alien contact. No genetic bottlenecks that would suggest a species-wide reset. Meanwhile, in the facility's computer core, IT specialist Marcus Rivera made a discovery that made his hands shake. He immediately called Dr. Chen. Doctor, you need to see this. I've been analyzing the alien technical data that Thorne accessed from our systems. It didn't come from our databases. He uploaded it into our computers when he touched the interface. The data transfer went both ways. What are you saying, Marcus? I'm saying he put that information into our systems, then pretended to retrieve it. The alien schematics, the tactical data, the fleet configurations, they're all fabricated. Sophisticated. Fabrications, but fake nonetheless. Dr. Chen gathered Elena and Marcus in the secure room. Together, they began piecing together a disturbing picture. His story has holes, Elena explained. But they're not random holes, they're carefully constructed gaps designed to prevent verification. Ancient history that conveniently left no archaeological evidence. Technology that's too advanced to reverse engineer. Genetic memories that can't be independently confirmed. Marcus pulled up his analysis. The fabricated data is incredibly sophisticated. Whoever created it has intimate knowledge of human psychology. Our technological capabilities, and our strategic thinking. It's designed to be exactly convincing enough to make us trust him, but not detailed enough for us to verify independently. Dr. Chen studied Thorne's bio-readings, but his physical capabilities are real. The genetic modifications, the enhanced reflexes, the cybernetic integration, that's not fabricated. No, Elena agreed. But what if the modifications weren't designed to fight aliens? What if they were designed for something else entirely? General Reeves found them in the conference room an hour later. What's this emergency meeting about? We have an alien fleet approaching, and you're holding secret. Discussions? Dr. Chen took a deep breath. General, we think Thorne might not be what he claims to be. Explain. Elena laid out their findings methodically. His story doesn't match archaeological evidence. His technology is impossibly advanced. His data about the aliens is fabricated. And his genetic modifications, they're not defensive. They're offensive in ways that don't make sense for fighting aliens. What do you mean? General Reeves asked. Marcus brought up biological analysis charts. Look at his neural modifications. They're designed for infiltration, deception, and psychological manipulation. His genetic memory system isn't just storage, it's a sophisticated programming interface. He's been designed to be the perfect infiltrator. Infiltrator of what? Us, Dr. Chen said quietly. His modifications are optimized for human interaction, not alien combat. He can read micro-expressions, analyze vocal stress patterns, and adapt his behavior to maximize trust and compliance. He's a weapon designed to deceive humans. General Reeves made a decision. We test him, right now. They returned to the main briefing room where Thorne was calmly reviewing tactical displays. Admiral Cross was coordinating Earth's defensive preparations based entirely on his recommendations. Commander Thorne, General Reeves announced, we'd like you to clarify some Details about the first Xytherian invasion. Thorn looked up with his characteristic confident smile. Of course, General. What would you like to know? Elena stepped forward. You mentioned that the aliens wiped out human civilization 12,000 years ago. Can you tell us about the specific archaeological sites where evidence of this advanced civilization might be found? For the first time, Thorn's expression flickered just for a microsecond. The Xytherians were very thorough. They specifically targeted historical sites to prevent future generations from learning about their technology. But surely some evidence would remain, Dr. Chen pressed. Metallurgical traces, unusual isotopes, genetic markers in the human population. Where should we look? Thorn's smile became slightly strained. Dr. Chen, with respect, we're facing an immediate threat. Historical verification can wait until after we've secured humanity's survival. Marcus couldn't stay quiet any longer. Commander, we analyzed the alien technical data you provided. It doesn't match any known physics models. Some of the equations you showed us actually violate conservation of energy. Human physics models are incomplete, Thorn replied smoothly. Xytherian technology operates on principles you haven't discovered yet. Or, Elena said quietly, the data is fabricated by someone who understands human science well enough to create convincing-looking nonsense, but doesn't actually understand alien technology. The room fell silent. Thorn's smile never wavered. But something changed in his eyes, something calculating and cold. You know what I think? Dr. Chen said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. I think you're exactly what you claim to be, a perfect weapon created by an advanced civilization. But I don't think that civilization was human. And I don't think you were designed to protect us from aliens. Thorn stood slowly, his movements still precise and controlled. Dr. Chen, you're allowing scientific skepticism to cloud your judgment at a critical moment. The Xytherian fleet will be here in 18 hours. We don't have time for doubt. We don't have time for lies either, General Reeves said, her hand moving subtly toward her sidearm. Marcus, cut Commander Thorn's access to all computer systems. Elena, I want a full archaeological verification team mobilized immediately. For the first time since his awakening, Thorn's perfect composure cracked. His smile became something predatory and alien. General, he said softly, you're making a mistake that will cost humanity everything. But the way he said humanity made it sound like he wasn't including himself in that category. Outside, the alien fleet continued its approach. But now no one was sure whether Earth's biggest threat was coming from space or standing right in front of them. The standoff in the briefing room lasted exactly 47 seconds before Thorn made his choice. Without warning, his hand shot out faster than human reflexes should allow, striking the security panel and locking down the entire facility. Emergency lights bathed the room in red as blast doors sealed every exit. Commander, what are you doing? Admiral Cross demanded, but Thorn was no longer pretending to be cooperative. Preventing you from making a fatal error, he replied, his voice losing all pretense of human warmth. The Xytherian fleet expects to find a compliant population when they arrive. Your resistance threatens that expectation. General Reeves drew her weapon, but Thorn moved like liquid lightning, disarming her before she could blink. He didn't hurt her, he simply made it clear that he could have. Dr. Chen, he said, turning to face the scientist who had first questioned him, you're more perceptive than the Xytherians anticipated. That's problematic. Dr. Elena Vasquez had seen enough. While Thorn was focused on the others she activated her emergency override codes, a failsafe she'd helped design for exactly this type of scenario. Hidden scanners throughout the facility began deep analyzing Thorn's genetic structure, this time with algorithms designed to detect deception. The results that flashed across her tablet made her blood freeze. Everyone listen to me, she announced, her voice cutting through the tension. I found the smoking gun. Thorn's DNA contains quantum encrypted data structures that are definitely not human in origin. But more importantly, they're not ancient either. The encryption algorithms match. Theoretical work published by Dr. Yamazaki just 3 years ago. Marcus Rivera, still connected to the facility's systems remotely, added his voice through the CUM system. Elena's right. I've traced the source code in Thorn's memory implants. It's based on human neural interface technology developed at the Kepler Station Research Facility. But here's the kicker, that research was classified at the highest levels. Only 12 people in the entire solar system had access to it. Dr. Chen felt the pieces clicking together with horrible clarity. Thorn isn't from the past. He's from the present. Someone built him recently using stolen human technology. But who? General Reeves asked, keeping her eyes fixed on Thorn, who was listening to their conversation with an expression of amused patience. The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. James Park, who had been quietly analyzing data in the corner, suddenly went pale. Oh my God. I know who had access to the Kepler Station research. Dr. Marcus Vega. The name sent a chill through everyone who heard it. Dr. Marcus Vega had been Earth's most brilliant xenobiologist before his controversial theories about alien contact led to his exile from the scientific community 5 years ago. Vega went missing 18 months ago, Dr. Chen remembered. His research ship disappeared beyond the outer planets. We assumed he was dead. Elena's tablet chimed with new analysis results. Not dead, recruited. Look at this. Thorn's genetic modifications include cellular markers that match Vega's research into adaptive human evolution. But they've been enhanced using technology that's definitely not human. The horrifying truth was crystallizing. Marcus Rivera's voice crackled through the CUM. I'm detecting massive data transmissions from Thorn's position. He's been broadcasting our entire conversation to the approaching fleet. Thorn finally dropped all pretense, his human-like facade, melting away to reveal something far more alien, its thinking patterns. Dr. Vega was a visionary, he said, his voice taking on an almost reverent tone. When the Xytherians found his research ship, they realized he had already solved the problem they'd been working on for millennia, how to create the perfect liaison between species. Liaison? Dr. Chen asked, though she was beginning to understand. The Xytherians don't want to exterminate humanity, Thorn explained with chilling matter-of-factness. Extinction is wasteful. They want integration. Humans have valuable traits, creativity, adaptability, emotional range. But humans also have problematic traits, independence, rebelliousness, unpredictability. General Reeves stared at him in horror. You're not here to protect us from invasion. You're here to make invasion unnecessary. Precisely. I am the prototype for the next phase of human evolution. Enhanced physical capabilities, but more importantly, enhanced psychological compliance. The Xytherians will arrive to find a humanity that has already begun its transformation into ideal citizens of their empire. Elena's analysis reached its final terrifying conclusion. Thorn isn't the only one. Marcus scanned for similar quantum signatures across the planet. The results appeared on every screen in the facility. Dozens of red dots appeared across Earth's surface, identical quantum signatures to Thorn's. My God, Dr. Chen whispered. How many of you are there? Enough, Thorn replied. Strategically placed in every major government, military installation, and research facility on Earth. We've been awakening gradually over the past 6 months, integrating ourselves into your society, gaining your trust. Admiral Cross, who had been silent throughout the revelation, finally spoke. The defense strategies, the fleet positions, the evacuation protocols. We've been planning Earth's defense based on your recommendations. Thorn's smile returned, cold and calculating. And those recommendations will ensure maximum efficiency when the Xytherians arrive. Your defensive positions are perfectly arranged to facilitate swift conquest. Your evacuation routes lead directly to processing centers. Your communication protocols have been designed to prevent coordinated resistance. Dr. Park pulled up additional data streams. The cryogenic chamber we found, it wasn't the only one, was it? Of course not. Dr. Vega and his Xytherian partners have been seeding Earth with infiltration assets for months. We weren't all awakened simultaneously to avoid detection. Some of us have been active for over a year, working our way into positions of influence. Elena felt sick as the implications hit her. How many key decisions have been influenced by infiltrators? How much of our preparation is actually sabotage? All of it, Thorne confirmed cheerfully. Every defensive strategy, every evacuation plan, every contingency protocol has been designed to serve Xytherian objectives. Humanity will surrender not because you're forced to, but because you'll genuinely believe it's the best choice. Marcus Rivera's voice came through the comm system one final time. Everyone, we've got a problem. I'm detecting activation signals being sent to sleeper assets across the planet. They're all waking up simultaneously. The fleet will arrive in 12 hours, Thorne announced, checking what appeared to be a countdown display that materialized in the air above his wrist. By then, every major decision-maker on Earth will be either an infiltrator or under the influence of one. Humanity's surrender will be swift, complete, and apparently voluntary. General Reeves looked around the sealed room, then back at Thorne. And if we refuse to cooperate? For the first time, Thorne's expression showed something that might have been regret. Then you'll discover that my infiltration protocols include more than just psychological manipulation. Dr. Vega's enhancements weren't limited to mental capabilities. As if to demonstrate, Thorne's fingertips began glowing with energy that definitely wasn't human in origin. The truth was complete and terrifying. Earth hadn't just been invaded, it had been perfectly, methodically prepared for conquest by its own enhanced children. The sealed briefing room had become a tomb of revelation, but Dr. Elena Vasquez refused to accept defeat. While Thorne monitored the global activation of sleeper assets on his alien display, she caught Dr. Chen's eye and nodded toward her emergency kit. "Thorne," Elena said, drawing his attention while Chen quietly accessed her bioscanner. "I have one question about Dr. Vega's transformation. What convinced him to betray his own species?" Thorne's expression softened with something resembling genuine emotion. "He didn't betray humanity, he saved it. When the Xytherians found his research ship, they showed him what happens to species that resist integration. Entire worlds reduced to ash, billions of lives extinguished in moments. Dr. Vega chose evolution over extinction." "Evolution?" General Reeves scoffed. "You call slavery evolution?" "I call survival evolution," Thorne replied firmly. "The Xytherians rule over 14,000 inhabited worlds. Every species under their protection lives in peace, prosperity, and purpose. Compare that to humanity's short, violent, chaotic existence." Dr. Chen's bioscanner finished its work, and what she found made her heart race. She caught Elena's attention and mouthed silently. "Vulnerability detected." Elena understood immediately. "Thorne, for someone enhanced by alien technology, you seem remarkably emotional about Dr. Vega's choice, almost like you genuinely cared about him." "Dr. Vega created us. Of course we care about him. But that's the problem, isn't it?" Dr. Chen said, stepping forward with her scanner results. "The Xytherians enhanced your physical capabilities and gave you sophisticated mission parameters, but they couldn't remove the core human psychology that Dr. Vega built into your base template." Thorne's confidence flickered. "Explain. You're not just mimicking human emotion to manipulate us," Elena realized. "You actually feel them. Dr. Vega's greatest creation wasn't your enhanced body, It was preserving human consciousness within an alien framework. You're genuinely conflicted about what you're doing. Marcus Rivera's voice crackled through the comm system with urgency. Everyone, I've been monitoring the sleeper activation signals. They're using a quantum entanglement network, but it has a critical weakness. The signal originates from a single source, likely the lead Xytherian ship. If we can disrupt that connection, the entire infiltrator network goes offline, Dr. Chen finished. Thorn, is that true? Thorn's hand moved unconsciously to his temple, where neural implants pulsed with alien energy. The network is necessary for coordination, but disruption wouldn't deactivate us, merely limit our ability to receive updated instructions. Which means you'd be operating on base programming, Elena said. Dr. Vega's programming. The part of you that's still human. Admiral Cross, who had been silent since Thorn's revelation, stepped forward. Commander, or whoever you really are, you said Dr. Vega chose evolution over extinction. But what if there's a third option? What are you proposing, Admiral? Thorn asked, though his voice carried a note of genuine curiosity rather than tactical. Calculation. Resistance that doesn't mean extinction, she replied. Your Xytherian masters expect either complete surrender or total destruction. But humans have always been good at finding unexpected third options. Dr. Chen activated her tablet, showing the facility's quantum communications array. Marcus, can you trace the infiltrator command signal back to its source? Already working. On it, came the reply. The signal is coming from the flagship, but it's heavily encrypted. I'd need someone with intimate knowledge of the network architecture to break through. All eyes turned to Thorn, who was staring at his hands as energy patterns flickered beneath his skin. You're asking me to betray everything I was created. 4. We're asking you to choose what Dr. Vega would have wanted, Elena said gently. Not the man broken by alien threats, but the scientist who spent his life believing humanity could overcome any challenge. Something shifted in Thorn's expression, pain, longing, and something that looked almost like hope. Dr. Vega, in his final moments before the transformation, he encoded a message into my core programming. I was never supposed to access it. Unless what? Dr. Chen asked. Unless I encountered humans who reminded me what we were supposed to be protecting. Thorn closed his eyes, and when he opened them, they were filled with tears, a distinctly human response that alien technology couldn't have programmed. Show us, General Reeves said. Thorn placed his hand on the communications console, and suddenly Dr. Vega's voice filled the room, older, tired, but unmistakably human. If you're hearing this, my son, then you found humans worth saving. I created you not to ensure their surrender, but to give them a chance. The Xytherians believe they've turned me into their perfect collaborator, but they don't understand human deception any better than they understand human love. The network I built has a backdoor. Use it. Give our species the fighting chance I couldn't. The recorded message triggered something in Thorn's hybrid consciousness. He began typing rapidly at the console, his enhanced processing capabilities working through encryption that would have taken human computers years to crack. The infiltrator network uses quantum entanglement for instantaneous communication, he explained as he worked. But Dr. Vega built in an override protocol hidden in the base code. If I can access the Xytherian flagship's command matrix, I can reverse the control signal. Reverse it how? Admiral Cross asked. Instead of the infiltrators following Xytherian commands, they'll revert to their original human psychology. 12 dozen enhanced humans suddenly remembering who they really are and turning against their controllers. Marcus Rivera's excitement was audible through the comm. That would give us the element of surprise. Enhanced operatives in every major installation, but fighting for humanity instead of against it. There's a cost, Thorn warned. Once I initiate the reversal, the Xytherians will detect the sabotage. They'll abandon their careful integration plan and move to immediate extermination protocols. Humanity will have perhaps 6 hours before they start orbital bombardment. Dr. Chen looked around the room at her colleagues. 6 hours to mount a defense against technology centuries ahead of ours. 6 hours with over 100 enhanced super soldiers who know every detail of Xytherian tactics and technology, Elena corrected. And more importantly, 6 hours as free humans rather than an eternity as willing slaves. General Reeves made the decision. Do it. Thorne's fingers flew across the interface as he accessed systems that shouldn't exist on any human facility. I'm breaking through their outer encryption layers now. The flagship's command matrix is incredibly sophisticated. They really don't expect anyone to be able to access this. How long do you need? Admiral Cross asked. 3 minutes to establish connection, 2 minutes to upload the reversal protocol, 30 seconds to activate it across the entire network. Thorne paused. Once I begin, there's no going back. The Xytherians will know exactly who betrayed them. Elena placed a hand on his shoulder. You're not betraying them, Thorne. You're choosing who you really are. For the first time since his awakening, Thorne smiled with genuine human warmth. Then let's give Dr. Vega's real plan a chance. The console erupted with alien symbols as Thorne initiated humanity's most desperate gamble, turning the enemies. Perfect infiltration network into Earth's last hope for freedom. Outside, the Xytherian fleet continued its approach, unaware that their carefully orchestrated conquest was about to become their worst nightmare. The moment Thorne activated the reversal protocol, quantum signals cascaded across Earth like lightning through neural pathways. In government buildings, military installations, and research facilities around the globe, enhanced infiltrators suddenly stopped mid-conversation, their eyes widening with the shock of recovered memory. It's working, Marcus Rivera reported. Through the CUM system, I'm detecting massive neural activity spikes from all the sleeper assets. They're remembering who they are. Dr. Chen watched Thorne's vital signs as he maintained the connection to the Xytherian network. The strain was enormous. His enhanced physiology was fighting a war between alien programming and human consciousness. How are you holding up? The Xytherians are attempting to reassert control, Thorne replied through gritted teeth. But Dr. Vega's safeguards are holding. The awakened infiltrators are maintaining their human identity. The Xytherian fleet's reaction was swift and merciless. Energy readings spiked as the massive ships abandoned their careful approach and accelerated toward Earth. Admiral Cross received reports from observatories across the planet. Fleet ETA now 4 hours, she announced grimly. They're charging weapon systems and deploying atmospheric processors. No more subtle integration. They're moving to complete planetary sterilization.